I'm going to tell you this story about this guy. When I was a boy, there was this house down the street, and it was always shaded. The windows were always shaded. And it was very kind of dark and creepy, and we always imagined like some kind of whatever, somebody lived in there, and we never went close to that house.
Ooh, Radley.
Yeah. So me and my buddy Adam were walking down the road, and there's this little old guy. He's like 4 feet tall, and he's standing at his mailbox, and he's got one shoe that's regular size, and he's got another one with a heel that's about 4 inches to make his legs the same size. And he looks at us, and he's got this little cap on, and he's at the mailbox at the long driveway that goes back into the creepy house. And he looks at us and he says, "Do you boys know where there's watercress?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he goes, "If you bring me watercress, I will show you my trains." So, in this day and age, parents would say, "Who? Some old guy wants you to come down, bring him watercress, and you're going to go to his house?" No, I don't think so. But back then, in the early 70s, we ran up to the spring that fed the water to our house, and it was full of watercress. And we got a bag full, and we brought it down. And we went to this back door, and it was kind of creepy. And we knocked, and this old man came out, and he opened the door, and he goes, "Come on in, I'll show you my train." All through the house was a track, and he had a train that he could ride on. And the reason why the shades were all drawn is because every room in the house was a town and a city and a village. And for two little boys to come see this old man, it's such a beautiful memory to me. Willard Squire was the most amazing person that I ever met. And he made these trains soldered, welded to look like old steam locomotives from old washing machine brass pipes. And they were like exact replicas. And he had a train set, and the train would go through a wall into another room, and you would run to the other room, and you would run to another room. And when he was downstairs, he had big track that he could ride a train around his house. I mean, the most amazing. I have truly been blessed with being around so much in my life that preserved my heart, my empathy, and my consciousness.
It fed you.
It fed me, and that's why I am the way I am. And yesterday I would tell you about Willard Squire, but I'll finish that. It was just a beautiful experience with Willard. He ended up being part of the Anior Community Church, which was this awesome family that lived at this dead-end road. And they, the Reverend Morton, and they had church in the field. And that was beautiful. And they had summer camp for kids, and we'd go up there, make birdhouses, and play softball. And Willard Squire was there. And I remember we all went on a church hike, and we went up we were going to hike Slide Mountain, which is the highest mountain around here. And Willard Squire was like 90 years old. And, Reverend Morton said, "Does anybody want to stay? Mr. Squire can't make it. He can't make it up." And I said, "I'll stay with Willard." And I sat with Willard, and I listened to his stories. And you know what? That's been my whole life. Always pay attention to those people and what they have to share, because they have wisdom beyond. And they've lived, and they've seen things, and they've done things that you will never experience.
Our elders are so important.